in my circle? Who the one who be the snakes? Who gon' fold up under pressure? Who gon' understand the stakes? Who gon' wait to get their food to try to take from off my plate? Who the love? Who gon' understand I'm hurt? Who gon' love me unconditionally and try and make it work? Who gon' party once I'm gone and shed a tear once I'm in dirt? I ain't asking for too much, I'm trying to understand my worth.
Welcome to the next episode of Give Me My Crown podcast.
Give Me My Crown podcast.
And we back at y'all with the first episode of 2025 and, of course, a recap of the college football playoffs. Before we start, definitely want to give one of some prayers to the families of the incidents that happened in New Orleans. Also, anybody that was affected in Las Vegas, and also what happened in New York over the weekend. Definitely sending prayers up for them, their families, everybody involved in that situation.
I agree, man. Senseless killing, man, just senseless. So yeah.
So as we know, college football playoffs had 4 games last week.
4 good games. Good games.
They were actually some very, very interesting games, and some of them went quite opposite of what people thought was going to happen.
I agree.
So let's talk about the first game. First game was Penn State, Boise State.
Why it gotta be first game?
Because that was the first game.
Man, just say you're a Penn State fan. I keep saying this. We don't be talking about it because you're a Penn State fan, bro.
That game happened when it happened Wednesday.
All right, let's go.
But so Penn State game. Penn State did exactly what we said they needed to do. They needed to pound the ball on the ground. That's exactly what they did. Both running backs had good games, and that's essentially what sealed the deal for them.
I need to be a coach. That's all I'm gonna say. They listen to me, but I've been saying all year long, Penn State should be undefeated right now.
Yeah, if they just run the ball,
yes,
that's their strength. They got 2 great running backs.
Yes.
Ashton Jeanty, I know a lot of people are saying he had a bad game, but in the end, he still had over 100 yards.
What are you supposed to do?
When you stack the box and you key on this man and he still have 100 yards, I mean, you can't hate on him but so much.
I mean, everybody knew they were going to give him the ball to run the ball, and he still got 100 yards.
And that's exactly what they did. And like you said, Penn State stacked the box. Penn State keyed on him.
Yep.
And yet he still had 104 yards. So if that's a bad game, I take it.
Me too, man. I take it all day.
And even though he did have 30 carries, but still, like I said, they're keying on him.
I mean, what else are they going to do? They're going to throw the ball? Sorry, they go.
Exactly. So Penn State won that. Penn State's, like I said, Penn State's running game is their running game, and their defense showed up.
Yes.
Their defense, I believe, is their strength. Their defense obviously complements their running game also, but their defense is one of their strengths because they do have one of the best defenses, I believe.
They do. I mean, the numbers don't lie.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this though: if they're gonna throw the ball, who they need to throw the ball to?
Tight end.
Exactly.
Alan Warren, all day.
He is to me, I don't care who they play against, he's the best catching wide receiver or tight end on the field. Except one team. We'll get to the team later. But that's left, nobody's seeing him.
That's why that's why they say he's probably the greatest tight end in the country.
Yeah, he is.
That shows you why.
Yep.
Next game was Texas and was
Arizona State.
Yeah, Texas, Arizona State.
Man.
That game, so the way that game started out, I expected that game to be a blowout.
I need a check from Texas.
Texas came out and scored 14 points in a matter of seconds.
I need a check from Texas. Because I started like you. I started watching the game, thought it was going to be a blowout, cut the game off. I ain't going to need a lot, be honest.
Yes.
And then you called me and was like, "Are you watching this game? Like, Texas finna go down and lose." The moment I cut the TV on, Texas won. I'm just going to call it, I need a check from Texas.
Yeah, when I seen it, because when they scored that long touchdown, first drive, they scored a long touchdown pass, and then they came back out next drive and a punt return for a touchdown. I'm like, oh, this game is over.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was kind of stagnant the rest of the game. Then probably late third, fourth quarter, that's when Arizona State starts stepping up.
Why is this? Why is it stagnant though? Let's talk about it. I keep saying this. Change the quarterback.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why they didn't, because Quinn Ewers was not getting anything done.
Yes.
So I don't know why my guess is they weren't losing, which is why they didn't change them out. But I mean, that at the end of the day, that's beyond me.
I mean, plug it this week and see what happens.
And Cam Scatterboo actually had a really good game.
Man, he did. He did.
He had 140 some yards on the ground.
He overrated. Go ahead.
140 some yards on the ground. What? I forgot how many passing yards or how many receiving yards he had. Was it 9 or 59? He had receiving yard, but then he also had a 43-yard touchdown pass.
He did. Yeah. Oh,
So,
right. No, I said that because they kept saying like the next Christian McCaffrey. No.
he ain't the next Christian. I don't think he's as elusive as Christian McCaffrey. He's more of a power back.
That's true. Yeah.
He's not. Christian McCaffrey can be a receiver or a running back.
Yeah.
He's a true running back that can catch the ball in the backfield, but he does not have the speed or elusiveness that Christian McCaffrey has.
Speaking of that, I don't understand. Well, we're gonna stay in college. I was gonna go NFL about how you use Christian McCaffrey. We're gonna stay in college. All right, let's do it.
So Texas obviously moves on. Next game was
Save it for last. Save them for last.
We're going in order.
Oh, come on, man. This is my game right here. Go ahead. Talk about it.
Oregon and Ohio State. Ohio State came out to a 30-something-0 lead.
Man, listen. This game was about one man.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith took this game and ran with it.
Yeah, he did, man.
People know he hit. Because I was expecting Ohio State to win this game, but I was not expecting it to be a blowout like this.
If you go back and look at the last podcast, I said it. Ohio State should have won the first time they played. And they were going to win this game. I knew they were going to win. Now, that 30-0 lead, nobody saw that. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
But I saw it being like at least 21-7 or something. I didn't see the 30 point. Like, golly.
Like I said, I seen them. I had a feeling they was going to win, but I didn't know it was going to be that large of a gap.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
So, and Jeremiah Smith, like at the end of the day, he's just ridiculous. There's nobody, and he said it. Nobody can guard me man to man. Yeah. And he went out there and proved himself against the number one team in the nation.
I got the question. Why would you run man to man on him?
I don't know. He's a 6'3" receiver, 200 and what? 20, 30 some pounds.
Yeah. The scary part is he probably still gonna grow another inch or two.
Yeah, because he's still only a freshman.
He turned 19. Yeah, he's 19.
He's a true freshman.
Yep.
So in the coming years, he's going to be scary.
Yeah,
if he can stay healthy, like his ceiling is at this point limitless.
Could you imagine with the speculations of who may join Ohio State at receiver? If both of them are on the ends,
yeah,
you might as well just give the college football trophy away.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Yeah, if it happened, it happened. That's all I'm saying.
Last game was Georgia Notre Dame. That game was boring to me.
It should have been boring though. Notre Dame
game.
Yeah.
I don't think Notre Dame did not play good offense. Obviously, Georgia has a great defense.
Question.
What?
So I think Georgia had 13 players sit out this game.
Yes.
Do you think the game would have went different if all 13 played? Just ask.
I don't know, because you even had some moments in this game where Georgia should have won. You had a bunch of receivers dropping passes.
That's true. That is very
true.
Like
their backup quarterback was putting the passes on the money, and then you have receivers dropping the passes. So, so would those 13 players have made a difference? Maybe. But even if they would have made some of the plays that they missed, I think that would have made a difference too.
I'm interested to see like why 13 players set out. It's a big game, man. Why you sit out?
I could see I can see sitting out of a regular bowl game,
Yeah,
but you're sitting out of the playoff game. That's different than a regular bowl game. Bowl game, at the end of the day, has no meaning if you're not in the playoffs.
correct. Yep.
So like, for instance, Cam Ward sat out the second half. Okay, cool. You're playing in a game that has no meaning.
Yep.
But in this game, like you're playing, you're trying to get to the national championship.
Yep, I agree.
So, and I for one, do not get that.
I will say Notre Dame, they did what they were supposed to do, play defense and run the ball.
Yes.
They played solid, kind of like Penn State. Both of those teams should do the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So going into the next round,
Here we go.
Notre Dame and Penn State, who do you think wins that?
Whoever runs the ball the most. That's the way I'm going to put it, man. Because
I
both
agree.
teams got two-headed monsters at running back.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm going to shout Fred out. Fred said Notre Dame got three-headed monsters. So we're going to see.
I think Penn State's running backs are better than Notre Dame's running backs.
Okay. I can go with that.
That's not to take anything away from Notre Dame's running back because they got some great running backs.
Yes.
But I think Penn State's running backs are better. And Penn State has the better receiving core because you got Evans and then you got Warren.
Okay.
And then you still got other receivers on the outside, but you got
coach. Which coach is better? Good question.
That's a hard question.
Okay.
Because if you look at because it's hard to judge because if you look at record, Notre Dame has a better record, but look at their strength of schedule. If you look at Penn State,
okay,
look at Penn State's strength of schedule.
Yeah.
And I mean, Notre Dame could essentially play whatever teams they want to play. They don't have to play the Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan. They don't have to play the good teams because they're independent.
Yeah.
So I think which quarterback is better I guess it can kind of be subjective.
Okay.
But I will say Notre Dame's quarterback or coach did turn it around after the whatchamacallit, after that loss to NIU.
Because at first, man, I honestly thought I said he lose another one, he might get fired.
I thought the same thing because we talked about that on one of the podcasts.
Yep.
We said if he loses another game, this might be his last season.
Yeah.
And he came out and won out.
Yep.
Last game, Texas, Ohio State. My prediction is if Ohio State plays the way they played and Texas plays the way they played,
Ohio State.
Ohio State will blow Texas out like they did Oregon if Texas plays the same way they did against Arizona State.
If you look at both of these college football games so far that Ohio State has played, they have played complete games from beginning to end.
Yes,
no let up. They may stop passing and run the ball a lot more, but it's no let up.
Yes.
Texas, they get up and then they'll take their foot off the gas.
Yep.
And not put it back on.
And with Texas, not to take anything away from them, they did have a week off, so that could have played a factor into it. Because Ohio State is coming in playing with momentum carried over from the Tennessee game. So that could have played a factor. But if Texas, whichever team comes out hot and gets up by 2 touchdowns, it's a wrap.
So my thing is, and Texas has to run a zone defense.
Yes.
They have to.
Yeah, I mean, you can't play man on him.
Exactly. And every time that, Oregon ran man, they got torched.
Yes. Because he got over 100 yards in the first quarter.
Honestly, if Texas want to know what to do, they need to call you. I'm going to tell you why. Like college football, man, I play with Ohio State. I literally go route all the time with Jeremiah Smith. He's unguardable. If I see you running man-to-man, just like their coaching staff is doing, they see man-to-man, they calling audibles. Like, hey, go deep. So Texas got one hope in this game.
You said Texas got what?
One hope.
Oh, yeah.
I've been saying this all year long. Change your quarterback. Put Arch in, and the whole swagger of the team changes when Arch comes in the game. So they need to put him in the game.
But the thing about it, this late in the season, they're not going to do it.
I don't care. Do you want to win or lose?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I agree.
If
I
I'm the
think
coach,
I think
go to the team.
the team does have a different spark with Arch in the game, but I don't see the coach making that switch this late.
Man, tell the coach, call me, email me, and I will tell him put Archie in. I'll tell the team, do you want to win that championship or not? If you want to win it, this is your best option.
I
Like,
agree.
this is what it is. He's the best option at quarterback for them.
I agree. So let's switch.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Switch gears a little bit.
Yes.
So we touched on it just a little bit earlier. How Cam Ward sat out the Pop-Tart Bowl because obviously he's going to the NFL. He knows he's going to be a top 5 pick.
Nothing wrong with it. He did the right thing. Keep going.
I agree. Do you think? First of all, do you think NIL? Do you think NIL plays a role in that, or do you think it strictly should be for players that are going to the league?
So it is. This is a touchy subject, right? But for me, I'm gonna just say it. Like for what Cam Ward did, I'm gonna just use him because we're talking about him right now. But he did was the best option for him. They all have insurance policies now. We know that.
Yes.
But we don't know what his insurance policy was. Only thing he could do is break the record.
Yes.
He's not gonna make the national championship, which I feel like he got robbed. Miami should have still been in there somehow.
I agree.
So he couldn't play. He broke the record. What else is there for him to do as a college athlete?
Exactly, because at the end of the day, if he would have came back out in the second half, because he got a lot of kickback from not coming out in the second half when his team was down, a couple of points or a touchdown, or however much they were down at the end of the game. But he got a lot of backlash for not coming in and essentially driving his team downfield. But the way I look at it, look at Carson Beck. Look when Carson Beck went down. Carson Beck went down with under 5 seconds left in the Texas game because they tried to throw a Hail Mary, which they should have just took it into halftime anyway.
But not only that, right? People have to take this into context. These kids come from nothing.
Yes.
So the NIL deals, like I'm gonna say Travis Hunter, Shador got. Yes, Cam Ward probably got $1 million or $2 in NIL deals. But if he a first top 5 pick, it's life changing for him.
Exactly.
But Travis Hunter been getting money for years. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's NIL.
Exactly. NIL deals. Like, and plus he's been touted as being one of the best college football players. He was number 1 in high school class, stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Cam Ward had to transfer to Miami.
Yes, because of where he was playing at. He was not a big name. Because he was always a great player, but he was not at a big name school.
Yes, I agree. So go ahead.
I was gonna say because I think what is that? I think he came from Washington State.
I think so. I'm not sure though.
But yeah, he had to go to once he got to Miami because I told you that before. As soon as I heard about him and I heard about him entering the portal, I said whatever he goes to, they're going to be nice.
You did.
And come to find out, he goes to Miami, and he is probably the most poised quarterback in the pocket I have ever seen in my life.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. He is the most unbothered quarterback I ever seen too. Like when I say unbothered, for one, it don't feel like to me he going full speed.
No, it doesn't.
Like he like, okay, you know what, man, we down by 20. Okay, let me try to bring the team back real quick. He looking at his wide receiver. Hey, you okay? All right, man, let's go.
Yes,
okay, you don't want to block. Okay, I'm gonna run. Don't worry about it. I got you. It's like he just so unbothered.
Because it was Pop-Tart Bowl. It was one play that I watched. And I thought the play was over because I just seen him just standing there, ball down to the side, then just throw the ball. I'm like, dang, like that's what we doing. Like he's just so unbothered, and his poise is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be good to carry over to the NFL also.
I agree. Yep, I agree.
Because he's not going to be flustered or bothered in the pocket.
But I honestly think, man, like this whole NIL thing it's going to have to be revamped. Like if I'm a person signing somebody to a deal, you got to put in the contract. I need you to play every single game of the season.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're gonna run into what happened with Georgia. From what they said, the players got the whole NIL deal because that was not written in the deal.
Yeah, and then because if you think about it, when that's happening, especially if these players are not, if they're not going to the draft, if they're juniors, sophomores or juniors. they're coming back again next year. As a coach, how do you look at a player like that?
Yeah.
Like, nah, like I don't want you on my team at that point.
I mean, if you don't want them, niggas gonna get in the transfer portal and go somewhere else. They don't care. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, as a coach and even as a teammate, how do you look at another teammate? Like, nah, you sat out like when we needed you.
I get what you're saying, man. I get that part, but I'm just saying, yeah, you gotta be a senior to do that. You can't come back. You can't come back. Because in my mind, we lost because you sat out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you think Ohio State takes it all from this point? I know Ohio State, your team, is why I'm asking.
I mean, they're not my team, but our teams in this whole tournament, they're the team playing most consistent.
I agree. I still think I'm still rolling with Penn State. The Penn State's downfall is going to be their offense, their passing game.
I don't think so.
If it has to get to that point,
like
I think they need to. Well, when I say that, I mean if they go away from their game and try to play a game that they shouldn't be playing, like if they come out and try to pass the ball 40 times a game, that's gonna be their downfall.
I agree, man. I honestly think they need to just run the ball.
Yeah, because running the ball, you're gonna make them stack the box, and then whatever team they're playing, you're gonna make them stack the box. Opens up play action.
Yep, I agree.
And it'll be there all day.
Yep.
And that's no matter which running back you got in the game, Katron Allen or Nicholas Singleton.
Yep.
So these coming up games are going to be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you agree with how they did the seeding? I think that needs to be changed.
I ain't got no problem with it.
I agree. I agree. And I seen a bunch of people complaining about saying Arizona State didn't deserve it. But if you look at the way they played against Texas, that was a great game. Right? That game came down to the wire. And I think that game solidified the fact that they definitely should have been in it.
Yeah, I agree.
Are we missing anything else college football wise?
I'm excited for these next two games.
I know we're winding down to the end.
Yep.
So we'll definitely be back for obviously the next one will be quick because we only got 2 games.
It might be. We never know how good these games are gonna be, man. That's what we like to talk about.
But yeah, we'll be back for another recap after these next 2 games.
Yeah.
Definitely give our insight, see if our predictions. I know you got Ohio State, I got Penn State. Obviously going to the next round. Who do you have out of the Notre Dame Penn State game?
Penn State should win.
Okay. So we got the same teams. I got Penn State, Ohio State going to the national championship. But it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
So definitely looking forward to these games and then coming back and giving our recap.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So as we say before we get off every podcast, this is more than a podcast. We handing out crowns.
Hand them out.
Who the love, who the hate? Who the realest in my circle? Who the one who be the snakes? Who gon' fold up under pressure? Who gon' understand the stakes? Who gon' wait to get they food to try to take from off my plate? Who the love? Who gon' understand I'm hurt? Who gon' love me unconditionally and try to make it work? Who gon' party once I'm gone and shed a 10 once I'm in dirt? I ain't asking for too much, I'm